Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 were not only games I grew up with, but some of the greatest 3D platformers of all time. Not knowing about these two games' reputation until late 2023 and even early 2024 is pretty happy for me. And now we're getting a combo pack for these games, and reviews have already rolled in. Now, if I manage to pick this up myself or get it for Christmas, I'm definitely going to be playing all the way through Mario Galaxy 2 and maybe doing the perfect run on this version of Galaxy 1, but I don't think I'll be picking it up anytime soon. Maybe I'll get it for Christmas, I don't know. So let's get into it by opening up the video with please hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell, comment down below Galaxy Movie if you want a shout out in the next video. So let's get into it. Now, I just want to point out that the price is a little spendy, but keep in mind that these games were originally $50 on the Wii, so having them $40 digitally and $70 for the combo pack, it's fine. The package itself is still amazing, so if I were to rank Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Galaxy 2 would be higher than Mario Galaxy 1, but the combo pack would be higher than both of them by just one. So we go Mario Galaxy, the first is the worst, second is the best, the combo pack is the bestest. I don't care if that's not a real word. I'm still flippin' stoked, and I feel the price is perfectly fine with me. Now, apparently, I looked it up, apparently these are not available separately on their own for $40, they're only available digitally. I guess that kind of sucks a tiny bit, but I'm probably going to be the only person who owns 3D All-Stars that isn't a popular YouTuber who's going to be getting the combo pack as well as owning 3D All-Stars. I'm still kind of stunned I own 3D All-Stars at all. But I'm really excited to see what Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are going to offer me, because I really want to see these new story beats with, sorry, I was tripping over my words. I can't wait to see the new story pages, the new story chapters added, that I'll just be really excited for that. Now, I feel like a handful of people are upset that they didn't re-release 3D All-Stars, but I've mentioned it before, it's perfectly fine because the reason being that Mario Sunshine and Mario 64 are already on the expansion pass, or Mario Sunshine is going to be coming at some point. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it's added to GameCube Switch Online this same month. Now, I'm not sure this warrants the extra price tag, but apparently Amiibo are now available with Mario Galaxy, and you wanna know what they do for $40? They give Mario mushrooms. Yes, mushrooms. No DLC like with the Link, Wolf, and Midna Amiibo and Twilight Princess on the Wii U. Mushrooms for $40 each. I can't imagine how many people are even going to be buying the Kirby Air Riders Amiibo because ka-ching! As you can imagine, I'm completely outraged that these Amiibo aren't offering anything that important. Especially with the price increase in most Amiibo lately. Like, geez, I want to get some of the Splatoon Amiibo, but I can't because they're near $40. But that's enough reviewing the games themselves, it's time to take a look at some reviews. Ollie Reynolds of Nintendo Life gave a review that I feel really sums up the Galaxy games as a combo pack, but then again, I've seen other major reviews from other places like Metacritic and Sixth Access, and I'm only choosing these three. I mean, it's too incredible it's the 3D Mario games in one combo pack with a little more story. What do you expect? But as for the actual review, I'm taking a look at that right now. We're starting off with Nintendo Life, and it opens up by saying, so the time I probably ventured into the great beyond with my favorite plumber, I was in the middle of playing genuinely incredible 3D platformers, but jumping back into Galaxy 1 and 2 on the Switch 2, two things became apparent. A few minor technical hiccups with the games are perhaps more noticeable now than they were 15 years ago, and second, they still represent 3D Mario at its absolute peak. Now, just seeing the trailers on Nintendo of America, just seeing the UI and the text redone looks stunning. But yeah, I feel like I did notice a couple of minor issues with the quality of the designs and stuff. Like, I mean, sure, it's a little outdated. The designs and models are a little bit outdated at this point, but I did notice that any minor issues with the graphics and frame rate have not been resolved at all, but even so, they're like tiny. They're like 0.1% of a problem. The UI is cleaner with altered font and slightly smaller icons. Galaxy 1's version of 3D All-Stars did the bare minimum, but Nintendo finally gave both loves the love they deserve, and they look glorious. In addition to enhanced resolution and visuals, these release also feature several gameplay additions. Co-Star mode, I believe Co-Star mode was actually in the original Wii versions to help gather star bits and stuff, and you can actually use the console mouse's functionality on the Switch too, so that's pretty neat. Now personally, I feel like that sort of thing would kind of be a given, because I did like using the gyro on the Joy-Cons on Mario Galaxy 1 for 3D All-Stars, but I feel like the mouse controls will work just as well, if not a little bit better. Taking inspiration from Odyssey, both games also feature assist mode to help out newcomers or really anyone who needs a bit of leg up. This automatically doubles the health, which I feel is kind of a given. Nullify damage by standing still to regain it, and when falling off the ledge, a bubble will encircle Mario and bring him back to safety. Okay, so this next part just talks about Mario's controls. In handheld mode, you can use the touchscreen, but gyro control is also available, but you'll be constantly resetting with R, and Mario feels just as good to control as ever, with the movement fluidity even further with Mario Odyssey. But whether you're hopping around on a series of tiny plants or swinging from flowers atop Yoshi's back, never feels any less exhilarating. Now, playing 3D All-Stars on the Nintendo Switch made me feel like I could hardly ever go back to the Wii version, just because the motion controls for the ray surfing, the bubble controls, and the ball rolling, it all just kind of felt unbearable on the Switch one for me. So playing it on the Switch with gyro controls felt a little bit more accurate. Now, something that's a really nice quality of life update is that if you somehow manage to get yourself a version of Mario 3D All-Stars, you can transfer your save data over into this new version, which is really cool, but like, why? This just screams the hate for everyone having not played Mario Galaxy on 3D All-Stars in the first place. I must reiterate here that I'm fine with the fact that 3D All-Stars wasn't re-released, but this quality of life feature is nice to have, but it's just dumb. So the rest of Nintendo Life's reviews just talk about how the games actually are if you've never really played it, and the upgrades and visuals and frame rate that are just kind of a given on the Switch 2 and Switch 1. So it looks like Mario Galaxy is looking pretty good in Nintendo Life's point of view, but let's take a look at 6 Axis' review. The 6th Axis' review begins with him saying the pair of games are rightly held up as 2 of the very best platformers of all time. These opening hours of Mario Galaxy are still an absolute delight as you bounce between small celestial bodies or in all directions around oddly shaped planetoids and structures and head to strange space hill for some gravity shifting 2D platforming, and then still find that there's more traditional feeling Mario levels as well. So it's basically just the description for a regular 2D Mario game if it wasn't Mario Galaxy, or even just Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 being explained again on the original hardware, which is just fine. The next paragraph says that remastering these 2 beloved platformers is no small feat. One of the problems with Nintendo's more experimental phase, starting with the Wii and DS with the touchscreen and motion controls, is difficult to translate to the Wiimote pointer and touchscreen for more typical controllers, which I feel would be the reason that with the new mouse mode, Zelda Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass could be getting remakes on the Switch 2 as well. I think I'll be singing for quite a while that these 2 games should now be getting a remake with the mouse controls. It'd really enhance the games. But the next part says that it's not really a problem with the hardware that the Switch and Switch 2 has with the great motion controls and the mouse controls, and just tying the Wii straps together for a truly authentic Wiimote on the Joy-Con straps I guess that's good. It's also mentioned here that gyro controls can also be used in handheld mode to pick up star bits, which was something said in Nintendo Life, which is another pretty good quality of life update. And it says here that new revised game options are built into the game's menus instead of Switch Online like emulator overlay. You're no longer prompted to save after every level completion, and there's a whole new assist mode that modifies the game with more health for Mario, health recovery when standing still, and easy recoveries when falls into oblivion. Okay, that last part was pretty funny. We also see them talk about the graphical improvements. On Switch 2, you now have 1080p when playing handheld and a 4K output to TV. Nintendo's aversion to anti-aliasing remains, but when the resolutions match your screens, it feels better, and it's paired with revamped textures that generally feel like someone's wiped the Vaseline off your glasses. Other petroleum jellies are also available to smear on your glasses. Grass textures go from mottled colors to having more distinct shape patches, and there's now a checkerboard pattern overlaid on the sky of Honey Hive Galaxy. Seeing this review and seeing it talk about how in much more details on how the grass and just the general background looks is pretty surprising because Nintendo Life didn't talk about it, and it's neat to see how much that Nintendo has actually put into this game. Like, they probably needed to just knock down Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 and repatch the graphics, which is a little bit surprising. But it's one heck of an achievement, I'll give them that. Now this part I don't 100% understand. There's a pre-rendered cutscenes could have had a bigger improvement. They've been re-rendered and have opened up an aspect ratio, but they still come off as being relatively low resolution from the massive amounts of depth of field in place. Okay, so this part was briefly talked about in Nintendo Life, how there's a couple of minor disapprovements that happened in the Wii version that weren't at all fixed in this collection. Now, I did notice that myself when it came to cutscenes when talking and just seeing things around. Basically, whenever you're not controlling Mario, like with going into a launch star, it all just kind of looked the same on how it did on the Wii, where the resolution just doesn't look as good as actually playing the game. But I feel like those issues are few and far between. There's not too much more to this bundle beyond that. A new storybook in Galaxy 2, for example, and that's part of why the $40 per game and $70 combined pricing might feel steep. In truth, it's in keeping with the Metroid Prime Remaster. Why? Nintendo Life also brought up Metroid Prime Remaster per game, and if you're still into physical games, you can get a good few quid off that way. I'm not sure how many times I need to keep reiterating it, but the games are cheaper when they were on the Wii, so this combo pack is definitely worth it. It seems like 6th Axis gave it an 8 out of 10, which I can respect. But let's check out OpenCritic real quick. Looking at the numbered review, it's 88, generally favorable. I guess that means that it's a nice 8.9 out of 10 because it's 89 out of 100. I'm not sure if that's how translations work, but I don't care. It's just another numbered review saying that this game is still great. Now, there's not really a detailed review from Metacritic, but it just seems like once again that the critics have once again mentioned that this combo pack is definitely amazing. It seems like IGN has no review for this game yet, which I feel is a little bit odd because, I mean, it seems like other big reviewing companies, 6th Axis, Metacritic, Nintendo Life, they all got the game early and are giving it, like, great reviews, and it's shocking to see that IGN hasn't gotten it early to do a review on it. And I don't know, it just feels a little off to me because feels like all the big review companies seem to get the stuff early. But I hope you all enjoyed seeing Mario Galaxy once again be rekindled in this new light and see what the big boys who give reviews on it have to say. So I'm excited to hopefully one day get this game, assuming that Nintendo doesn't discontinue it like they did with 3D All-Stars. So if you all feel like this video is good, leave me a like, it makes me feel good. Comment down below Galaxy Movie if you want a shout out in the next video. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, do all the stuff. I'd really appreciate it. I appreciate it when people just reach out in general. I'll be doing one more video on Amiibo, and I'll see you all later.